Good morning, students. Hope everyone is doing great. Let's start our today's topic India at Play. This chapter speaks about different kinds of sports other than the famous cricket, football, or tennis. It briefs us about those games that we sometimes play with our friends and family at home or in the neighborhoods. But these games do not become the word of mouth. Why? Because these games are regional and not global. So, this chapter enlightens us about the history of these games and answers our questions like what are these games? Where do they come from? And what do they mean to us? Talking about the history of these games, before India had adopted games like cricket and football, games such as kite flying, kabaddi, kho-kho, or hopscotch were played by royals, aristocrats, and commoners. Some of these games are so ancient that they were played even before Mahabharata was written. And my dear students, do you know when Mahabharata was written? Mahabharata is generally thought to have been composed in the 4th century BCE or even earlier. Now, coming to the first game mentioned in the chapter is Kho-Kho. Kho-Kho is a traditional Indian sport invented in Maharashtra, India. Historians believe that Kho-Kho is a modified form of run chase, which in its simplest form involves chasing and touching a person. Kho-Kho in ancient times was played on rats or chariots and was known as Rathera. Now, what happens in this game? A chaser from one team tries to touch an opponent from the other team to get them out. Then, at the end, the team that takes the shortest time to dismiss its rivals wins. Now, coming to the next game, that is Kabaddi. Kabaddi is said to have originated from Mahabharata incident of Abhimanyu getting trapped in a chakravyuh created by his enemies. Now, how is this game played? In Kabaddi, a player enters the area of the opposite team and then tries to touch an opponent and returns back to his team. And throughout the game, he has to chant Kabaddi, Kabaddi, Kabaddi. Talking about the next popular game, that is wrestling. Wrestling is also known as Kushti in India, and it symbolizes bravery and strength. Wrestlers in India are called Pehelwans, and the place where they practice their wrestling is called Akhara or wrestling school. Their annual village competition is known as Dangal. Some of the famous Indian wrestlers are the great Gama, Dara Singh, Sushil Kumar, Geeta Fogart, and Babita Kumari. Coming to the next interesting game, popularly known as Kite Flying or Patangbazi. Every year in India, this kite flying festival is passionately celebrated, which is called Makar Sankranti. The International Kite Festival is held every year in Gujarat during this Makar Sankranti. Also, on August 15, the sky is dotted with kites as people celebrate Independence Day. Coming to the next game, known as Gili Danda. It's said to have originated during the Mauryan period. Gili Danda is played with two pieces of equipments. Danda being a long wooden stick and Gili, small oval-shaped piece of wood. The player uses Danda to hit Gili. If the striker fails to hit the Gili in 3 tries, then the striker is out. The team with highest points wins the game. Now, coming to the next popular game among children and is known as Kit Kit, Stapu or Hopscotch. Hopscotch is a popular playground game in which players toss a stone or any small object into the numbered triangles on the ground and then hop or jump through the spaces without losing balance. Now, coming to the last game discussed in the chapter, and that is chess. It's also called the game of mind. This game is said to have originated in India. Ancient texts like Ramayana and Mahabharata call the game Chaturanga. According to the Persian poet Firdausi, an Indian king sent a Chaturanga board to the king of Persia, and from there the game spread to the rest of the world. Today, India prides itself on the feats of former world chess champion Vishwanathan Anand and the Grandmaster Conero Humphrey. So, my dear students, these games discussed in the chapter are a significant part of our cultural heritage, and they contain in them the spirit of our history. This concludes our chapter India at Play.